What's up, gang? This is Bri with Eagles Real Talk, the flyest covering the Eagles on YouTube. Thank you for joining me today. Today's topic is the NFC Beast. They used to call us the NFC Least, but now look at us. Look at us now, the best division in football. I don't think anyone's seen this coming, not even myself. Obviously, I had the birds, flying high all year, but man, Commanders are even playing better now, and they're trying to get a playoff berth. So we're going to get into the schedule, my prediction, who I think is going to end up with the crown. But before I do, if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. And if you like the content, leave a like and a comment on the video. Let's get straight into today's video. Let's go. Let's start off with the top of the division, and sitting up there is the Philadelphia Eagles. Our birds are at 9-1. We play this week Sunday Night Football tomorrow against the Green Bay Packers, which I expect another W. So I have us going 10-1 as of tomorrow. Right under us is the Dallas Cowboys sitting at 8-3. Now they already played their game this week for Week 12 on Thanksgiving. They beat a divisional opponent, the New York Giants. So now the Cowboys are at 8-3, and their next game is at the Colts. Colts are, a tough game, but at the end of the day, I have the Cowboys probably winning that one as well. So New York Giants are under them in third place at 7-4. They have another divisional game, so back-to-back divisional games. They play Washington next week. So I bet, the players and the coaches are starting to feel the heat a little bit after dropping some games and starting off so well. They're probably feeling the heat now. And then under them is Washington, who has been a hot team right now. They're 6-5. They started off slow, but as soon as they made a quarterback change to Taylor Heineke, due to the injury of Carson Wentz, they've been playing pretty damn good football, and they got Chase Young, and their defense is just getting more healthy. So I feel like there'll be a tough team to beat going down the stretch, and they're at 6-5 currently. Let's get into the individual teams' records now and kind of break it down and see, and predict where they're going to finish. Let's start off with our birds, the Philadelphia Eagles. Like I just mentioned, we play the Green Bay Packers tomorrow. I expect a W. Next game, tough opponent, AFC opponent. I think this will be a really good test for us. This will be the A.J. Brown revenge game, and we go up against the Tennessee Titans. I have us winning that game. Next game after that, Week 14, we have a divisional opponent at the Giants. I have us winning that game. Then we're back. Then we travel to Chicago. We're on a 3-game road trip at this point. Then we travel to Chicago. We'll see if Fields is, his shoulders, if he's even able to play by then. He's dealing with a shoulder injury right now, but regardless, I have that as a W. Then we go up against Dallas on Christmas Eve. Everyone is looking forward to this game. I can't wait for this one. This is obviously going to have a lot of attention, a lot of, just a lot of eyes on that game, especially since it's on Christmas Eve and it's against the Dallas Cowboys, and I have us winning that game. I have us winning in Dallas and then going back home and winning against the Saints at the Link. Jalen Hurts owns the Saints. The Saints are a dumpster fire this year. And then the last game of the season, I have us taking the L, but this has an asterisk on it right now. We may decide to play our players that game, our main guys. It is yet to be, decided. Obviously, a lot of factors go into that, but at the end of the day, whether we win that game or not, we'll either finish 15-2 or 16-1. I predicted us to go 15-2 at the end of the year, so I'm gonna stick with my prediction. We take a loss at the end of the year and rest our guys at home. Now let's go over Dallas's remaining schedule. They're currently 8-3. I have them winning next week against the Colts, winning against the Texans, winning against Jacksonville. So they'll be on a 4-game win streak at that point. And then they are going to lose to Philly at home on Christmas Eve. And then they're also going to lose at Tennessee. But they're going to recover and beat Washington at the last game of the season. I feel like that's actually going to be a lot riding on that game. But I have them winning in a tough divisional game to end the year. Next up, we have the New York Giants. So, like I said, they've been kind of, on the decline as of the last few weeks. Daniel Jones probably not going to play too well going down the stretch. He doesn't have many weapons on offense. He's not a weapon himself. They pretty much all they have is Saquon, at this point. And I think teams are going to start stacking the box, especially in the cold weather. So I have them, taking an L to Washington, an L to us the week after that, and then an L again to Washington on in week 15, and then another L to the Minnesota Vikings. They'll recover and they'll beat Indianapolis, but at the end of the day, they're going to probably be out of the playoffs by that point, maybe fighting for a wild card, and they may beat us at the end of the season, depending on if we rest our guys, like I mentioned earlier. So with the Giants finishing at 9-8, I think that opens the door for Washington to sneak into the playoffs. Their remaining schedule is favorable, in my opinion. So they play Atlanta. That's a W for them. They play the New York Giants. I have them winning that. They have a bye week, and then they have Giants again. I think that's perfect for them. They get to obviously study the tape and then go right back to the field, a week later. So I have them winning that game. And then they travel to San Francisco. That's going to be a loss for them. But they do have a tough run game. So that's going to be an interesting game. And then they're back home against Cleveland. I think the pass rush is going to get to Watson. And I think they're going to win that game. And then I have them taking a close game L. This could go either way. But as of right now, I have them losing to the Cowboys the last game of the season and finishing at 10-7 and still making the playoffs. And they can still make the playoffs at 9-8. We shall see, It kind of depends on how the dominoes fall. But as of now, I have them making the playoffs at 10-7. So let's see how this is going to play out with the final standings. So I have the Eagles, winning the division, the champions of the NFC Beasts at 15-2, taking care of business the rest of the way going forward, getting that first round bye, and then advancing going forward after that. And then after them at number 2, I have the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys are going to finish 12-5. They're going to lose to us on Christmas Eve. They're going to win that final game at the end of the year. They're probably going to get the 5th or 6th seed. Right under them, I have Washington. So Washington is going to finish 10-7 and surprise a lot of people. They started off trash this year, but they got rid of Wentz due to injury. Taylor Heineke came in. They've been on a roll ever since. I think that roll is going to continue for the most part. And then the Giants, they're going to kind of fall on their face going forward, but at the end of the day, they've overachieved. They shouldn't even have 9 wins. They shouldn't even have 7 wins, in my opinion. I had them finish like 4-6 wins, but they've completely overachieved and went over that. So if you're a Giants fan, you got nothing to be sad about. At the end of the day, y'all overachieved. But as you can see, the NFC Beasts are going to produce 3 playoff teams this year. But I want to know, how do the people see it? How do the NFL fans watching around the world, how do you guys see this division, this NFC Beast division, no longer the least division? How do you see us finishing? How do you see, the records playing out at the end of the year? Who's going to finish at top? I got the Birds. You already know how I get down. But I want to know how you feel about it. Let me know down below in the comments. That's going to do it for me today. I'll be back tomorrow with the Sunday night preview versus the Giants. Until then, fly, Eagles, fly, and keep it real always. Peace out.